It does. I want to tell you something. All these boys out there running around talking about praise and worship, they got it all mixed up. They got it mixed up. Praise is something you do on your best day. It's natural to praise when things are going good. Worship is something you do on your worst day. On your worst day, Job fell down, shaved his head, ripped the mantle, and worshiped on his worst day. Abraham, God said, I want your son Isaac. I want you to offer him a sacrifice. So Abraham told the lads at the bottom of the hill, he said, hold the mules here. He said, me and the lads going yonder to worship. Are you listening to me? Worship is something you choose to do on your worst day. You ever heard somebody stand up in church, and I don't mean this wrong. Everybody knows that when you stand to testify and you ain't got God on you. Talk to me now. Don't be ugly. The two pastors said amen, but y'all know as well. You ever been in a testimony service and somebody stood up and they sucked the wind out of the whole place? I was at a church. We was in Georgia. God was blessing. This guy stood up, and when he stood up, he said, I need to say something. Well, I always look to the pastor because I don't know these people. And I looked at the pastor, and he said, I thought, no, you tell him no. I don't want to tell him no. He said, I was riding down the road the other day listening to old Carrie. Well, I got a friend, Carrie Nelson. They got a CD. I figured he's talking about him. Nope, he's talking about Carrie Underwood. He said she is saying, Jesus, take the wheel. And I just took my hands off the wheel. And I was like, that's not what she was talking about, but okay. How'd that work out for you, sir, huh? Somebody stood up and you knew that it wasn't real worship coming out of them. Then you've known that person that's going through the deep muck and mire. And they stand shaking. And they don't have to say, Pastor, I have something to say. They just stand up saying it. And it's so full of God and so full of worship. That's real worship. It's not real worship when you get on Facebook. Do y'all know that God doesn't have a Facebook account? I didn't know. I see people talking to him all the time on there. He don't have one. Some people get on Facebook. I'm not being ugly. They pray on Facebook. No, that's not where you pray. God's not checking those messages. I'm not being ugly when everybody else bowed. That's just what I imagine. I don't know, and y'all might could straighten me out after church. But I had a preacher friend said, I wonder if they weren't standing beside each other. He said, I wonder if when all those people bowed, Shadrach stood in fear and he opened his eyes. He's like, Meshach standing over there. Oh, there's Abednego. Can I tell you something? The devil will tell you you're standing alone. There's other people out there standing. They said something like this. They said, our God can deliver us. Let me tell you where worship steps in. But if not, we're not bound down to you, King. Are you listening to me? Habakkuk said it like this, although the fig tree shall not blossom, neither shall fruit be in the vine, the labor of the olive shall fail, the field shall yield no meat, the flock shall be cut off from the fold, and there shall be no herd in the stall. Wow. Habakkuk said, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. Amen. That's real worship. And until we can get to those places in our life, we say something like this, not my will, Lord, but thine be done. Amen. Are you listening to me? There's no telling the heartache and the difficulty in this room tonight.